great crowd. Look at the size of this room. This is awesome. Thank you, you guys.
Holy moly.
Hey, who here recognizes the big guy standing to my left? Who's a real PSG fan? Because you should recognize him. We got one person. Is he Daniel is the question.
Stand up so they can see you standing up.
Maybe this will help. Ready?
It's just like in the ring. Down goes Punisher. Yes, it's secret, but nobody really knows. We're gonna release it right now. Alex Wanovic is actually Sergeant Fisher, but is he Daniel? That's just mean. How's that mean? I thought the nerds liked that stuff. Oh, geeks, I'm sorry, geeks, that's right, yeah. Hi, I'm Aaron Douglas, I'm an alcoholic. Is it Tuesday? It's not Tuesday. Oh, sorry, wrong room, wrong meeting. Hi, Aaron. Thank you, now I feel at home. Why do we have pads and paper? I'm taking notes. This is going to be on YouTube. It's live streaming on the internet. Why the frack am I taking notes? Okay, I got a note. I'm going to girl in front, get rid of.
How is the girl in front feeling?
Oh, there's that one. Yeah. Hey, how are you? That's my little friend Jen. Hey, Jen. She can't even make eye contact. She's so shamed right now. Shame. Stop texting me. Fine. Hey, what's your name?
Well, I'm Red.
Hey!
And
he's a recovering alcoholic.
Yeah, and if you're really big fans of BSG, you have no idea who I am, because I've never been on the show. So, but I've watched it, so that, I don't know. Now, I know a lot of you probably have some questions. I don't know, maybe one or two of you have some questions. I don't know.
We're not here for questions.
All right. But if you do have any questions, we have a microphone stand right here in the center. Now, there's a lot of you. I don't know if you've noticed. There's a few people in the room. And I know we want to have enough chance for all of you in this short hour we have to ask your questions. So I do have a couple of requests. One, please just one question to a person. And none of these, well, first part of the question is this, and the second part of the question is this, and that's just mean. And now you don't have to do true or false or yes or no questions, but multiple choice would probably be good. And nothing about the essay of the history of the economic policies of Eastern Europe. But I want to start things out with one quick question.
Where the hell am I?
This is new, right?
Oh, well, I'll be out of here.
Thanks, folks. That's all the time we have.
All right. So I want to start things out with one quick question to go across the panel. I hope I'm not spoiling anything here. If you could choose any other member of the cast to have been a Cylon, who would you have chosen? That's the question.
Him.
Do I get to airlock them? Apollo.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
Or Alex, because then he would have got more episodes. Oh, I gotta say, Alex is former Canadian heavyweight champ, so don't frack with him. A, and B, when we did the boxing episode, you guys remember seeing the boxing episode? It was his unbelievable guidance and training that made me look somewhat of a guy that could actually throw a punch. He said, no, don't, please don't.
My favorite part was, okay, Douglas, we're gonna start off with the basics. And he goes, okay. We got a lot of work.
Why I oughta? Yeah, he took Eddie and I, and he trained us to do what we did. And it was really funny because he worked up this thing. He said, okay, we're gonna number every punch, and then he'd stand at the side of the ring and he'd go a 1, which is a jab, and then a 2, which is like a straight right, and then he'd call them out. He goes 1 1 2 1 1 2, and then you knew what was coming. Eddie 1 2 1, and then Eddie would throw that, and I would know what to do. Well, for some reason, I don't know. Eddie has a problem with math, and he called this combination, which was like a jab, jab, and a straight right. And Eddie's supposed to go kind of like slide, slide, and then slide on the last one. But he went slide, slide, lean, boom! I woke up the angry Mexican dog, and then he just started wailing on me. So a lot of those shots that you see in the show are actual shots. Eddie and I beat the fracking hell out of each other that day. And one of us over there just going,
I started, when I was calling out numbers, I was going, should I say it in Spanish? Well, why isn't he listening?
Alex also choreographed the first season one with Jimmy Bamber and Eddie, if you guys remember that. The dad and son boxing scene, which was awesome, and he made them both look like they knew how to box. I thought that was amazing, because Jamie did not know how to box. But he looked pretty good.
Are you sure my hands should get beaten up like this?
oh, sure, they're nice, and the men all sound gay, but their breath, oh. Jen got that one. Yeah, that's right. Actually, you know, right about here would have been perfect for me. That would have been great.
Hey, I just got a text from Grace Park.
Douglas
She says, telling Boomer and Athena, says, sup, kids. She says, next time I'm going to do a panel and switch off characters to see if they can guess who I am.
I turned it off. Does anybody have any questions for Mike Hogan? God's frickin' damn it! Due to illness, the part of Mike Hogan will be played by Aaron Douglas. Guy is frickin' about here.
I actually do have a question for Michael Hogan. I recently heard on a podcast you were commenting that you wanted to know which injury Ty was going to have so you could research it for the veterans. And I was just curious whether you had heard anything back from veterans, how they felt about that.
No, I haven't heard any feedback from anyone, but I don't go onto the net. There might have been feedback, but
Well, I was just thinking in terms of, I mean, I never looked at any of it either, but as the daughter of a wounded vet, I feel like I understand my father better because that was something did not talk about at all. So, just
yeah, well, I guess everybody knows the story that when say a month before hiatus is over, I would phone David Icahn and say, it's time to get my head back into Battlestar Galactica, so what have you got going on this season? And David Icahn said, well, let's see this season. Ty is going to be incarcerated. And he's going to be tortured. I said, oh, tortured? Well, that's interesting. What? Tell me more about that. And he says, and he's going to be maimed. Okay. Well, you got any idea how he's supposed to do it? Sure, yeah. And I said, well, you better let me know pretty soon so I can research it. Because I can't just go, and I don't want to. I don't want to, you know, I can't just go and lip. And he said, well, we're thinking of taking out an eye. And I, of course, laughed. Think of an eye, yeah, right. And then hung up the phone. I said, but, you know, let me know as soon as you find out what you're going to do so I can check it out in honor of the war veterans and victims of torture, etc. I will research it. Then I got an early draft of the first episode of season 3, and there, as you know, there's Ty in the prison cell with Cavill missing an eye. So I called David right away and I said, David, you've taken out my eye. He said, yeah, and I said, you know, man, a television actor, his main tools are his eyes. Big screen, not necessarily so. Stage, obviously not. But on television, these are your tools, and you've taken away 50% of my tools. And he said, well, when I talked to you last, I hung up the phone and called Ron Moore and said, you're absolutely chuffed at the idea of losing an eye. And I said, how stupid the idea. But Ron Moore's idea was he wanted something permanent. If they would have tortured me and injured my back or whatever, that probably would heal. But he wanted to be able to, when you see Ty, you remember the occupation. And so in the long run, that was a brilliant idea.
So my question is panel-wide. What is the roles that you guys are going to play as far as the special Battlestar event that's the from the Cylon's point of view? The plan, yeah.
I don't have a role. I'll be watching it like you. I'm excited though. I know a little bit about it. I know Eddie directed it. Are you in it, Douglas? You prick.
What part of Chief is a Cylon? Do you not understand that?
I honestly don't know anything about it. I didn't get the call. I had to find out about it later on. I knew that some people were involved and some people weren't. You know, Katie's not in it.
Dude, it's my plan.
Is it? Is it good? There you go. I know nothing about it. The best thing about Eddie too is Eddie he always wants you to, you know, make you feel like you're part of it. When I saw when we did Dragon Con, when we were in Atlanta, Eddie was like, "Oh, we're gonna get you in there." He said, "When you coming up?" I'm like, "When am I coming up for what?" He said, "Well, you're coming." And Eddie's directing it. I mean, they were already started. I'm like, "What do you mean? Am I in it?" And he's like, "Well, we'll get you in it. We'll get some stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, good." I mean, it'd be nice to find out about it. And that was the last I heard though, and I didn't take it very seriously. Eddie's just so I think you didn't want me to feel bad or something. It's funny.
Called him last week, right? So when am I coming up to do the plan?
Trying to work out my new schedule.
I have a question for Michael Hogan. There was such a focus on the show, especially the last half of the last season, about the relationship between Adama and Colonel Ty. But when they got to the finale, there wasn't a farewell scene for the two of them. Is that something that was a conscious decision by the writers, or was that something that was filmed that just didn't make broadcast?
I think the farewell between the two of them ended when Adama and Ty are sitting in his quarters having that drink when he said we're going to abandon ship. He said, okay, we're going to abandon. I think that was the farewell. There wasn't a farewell film that you see in the lead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So cute, little photographer. Really cool camera, just trying to take pictures of us.
I'm sorry, were you saying something?
Okay, I heard a rumor that you fought against Hilo's supposed ending. Well, what was that ending that you fought against?
Michael Reimer came out to me and he said, you know, how do you feel if Hilo dies? And I said, well, to be honest with you, I think that's kind of predictable. I think a lot of people are expecting that. Or if Hilo and Sharon die, one of us, you know what I mean? If Athena died. To me, that seemed like, we were kind of always building up to that. I know that a lot of fans expected that. And at Battlestar, we dragged you through the mud. I think it was a good conclusion to our storyline. I think people were pretty happy with it. And
right.
Did you actually think that, because I know that most people watch it, it's like when you see me bleeding out on the floor, you think I'm done. Yeah, I think they did a really good job at that. My buddy Mike Doherty is a really good screenwriter and director. He did Superman Returns and X-Men 2. It totally had him too. He's a major geek. He loves this show. He just couldn't believe it. He's like, man, I thought you were dead. Sure you were dead. Sure you were dead.
Hi, I have a dollhouse question.
I'm not in dollhouse. Security.
You gotta take this shot, she knows too much.
I was just wondering if you could confirm or deny the presence of someone named Alan Tudyk as a possible alpha,
As a what?
As alpha, if he's gonna play it or
no comment.
gonna be in it.
No comment.
I can respond to that.
Yeah, unlike the plan, actually Alpha, you know who Alpha is? I'm going to tell everybody, it's Aaron Douglas.
I am Alpha and the Omega. All the Christians hate me. But that's okay.
Alright, so I have something for...
Why aren't you in church? Go ahead.
Because I wanted to come here.
No, that was a general question. Okay, you have something for what? You have something for me?
For the entire panel.
Chocolate?
I could get that for you if you gave me like 15 minutes.
You have 5.
I'm not that fast.
Neither am I. I'm sorry, did you guys want to speak? You want to... This is why I have my own table. And my own show.
It's always your show, buddy. Keep on going.
Sorry. I'm so flustered. Okay, so the finale just aired a couple weeks ago. Haven't really gotten a lot of time to get everyone's opinion on it, so I just kind of wanted to know, as actors, as fans, what you felt about your characters and about the direction of the show and where it ended.
I think it's the best ending to a television program in history. It's Ron Moore's opus. I think it's absolutely perfect. And I've been saying it for a long time. The last time you see these characters is the last time you want to see these characters. I think I would not come back and do more Chief. He's, I love the fact that he just wandered off and became the King of Scots.
Yeah, I agree. It was a great ending. I mean, it couldn't be more perfect. You know, it's like a good book. I love reading, and you know, there was a lot of conclusions, but there was a lot of questions. You know, it's up to interpretation, really. And that was the beauty in it. I can't believe how good of a job he did, really. Yeah, I think we all read it. We all read it and agreed right away. It was one of the few times on set where people didn't disagree, because I can tell you, in the 5 years of the show, everyone had an opinion. Jamie, James, everyone had
James had an opinion on the show? Really?
Yeah.
Which show were you on?
Especially Jamie Bamber. Jamie always had something to say. But Jamie's an incredibly bright guy, and you know, half the time he had some good points. Everyone just believed in. The point is, everyone just believed in the integrity of the show. So it was an incredible ending. I agree. Agreed. So say we all.
Hi, thanks for coming to Seattle, by the way, you guys. I really appreciate that you guys came all the way up here, so yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
all the way up?
All the way down?
How many Canadians are in this room?
Some of you, well,
go Canucks, go.
You live in LA, don't choice. Up or down,
Thanks for having us.
whichever direction you came to Seattle. Thank you. So my question to you is for the entire panel. So that scene in the finale where Galen starts choking Tori, I felt like... Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. So I just... so that 5 or 10 seconds after that, I felt like sort of obliterated the entire plot of season 4 in like in a matter of like 5 or 10 seconds. And I'm wondering if that was like a creative decision to just get rid of that whole plot line, basically.
What plot line?
The one with Cavill and like Cavill chasing them down and the whole, you know, them
It's
going to find them.
the end of the show.
But I know, but I just thought that the 5 seconds it didn't do it justice. I thought that it could have.
You wanted me to strangle her longer?
I would have preferred a 5th season. How about that? I would have preferred a 5th season to like conclude the whole thing.
Oh, you would have preferred a 5th season?
Yeah.
Okay. How many people would prefer a 5th season?
It took you by surprise, though, didn't it?
Yes, it did. It did,
Yeah.
because it was like 5 or 6 seconds, and the whole thing was like over, and then Cavill like shoots himself in the head, and he's like, right, and then he like dies. So I'm like, what
It's a pretty
the heck
heavy
is
scene.
happening?
Yeah, it's a heavy scene. I remember reading it and going, what? Like, did he just actually kill her? Wow.
You're goddamn right I did.
Hi. I had to write it down because I knew I'd just go blank as soon as I got up here.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
Does all of this work and learning scripts and all these conventions and dealing with fans, does it ever get like overwhelming? And if so, how do you deal with it?
Douglas, how do you deal with it?
Dude, these are my people.
Did just shout.
Of course they turned it on. Turn it on, it's right there. My name is Alex. I go to school to eat my lunch. Get away from me!
It doesn't get too overwhelming. I think if you do a lot of these things, it might. Do we answer your question? Where did you go? Oh, there you are. Yeah, no, it's not too much yet. It's good. It's really good. I think you know, I'm really enjoying it. Like we're just so proud that this show just finished, and I'm just reveling in it. You know, I'm still very proud. I mean, we just had a big finale in LA, and it was great to share that experience with all my cast. Yeah.
At one of the very first press conferences to introduce ESG to the TV critics and the media in general, Edward James Olmos was quoted as saying, if you're a fan of the old show, don't watch this show because you'll only be disappointed. And he did that in front of Bonnie Hammer, who's president, is that right, or vice president?
Yeah, she was, yeah.
So, I'm curious to know if any of you were at that press conference, and if you were, could you describe visually what Bonnie Hammer's face looked like when he said that?
And he said that like, he says that everywhere he goes.
Yeah, but he's talking about the
Don't watch this show.
I think
It's dark, it's unwatchable, it's terrible. It's a terrible show, you're gonna be disappointed and sad.
I think all the execs broke into a cold sweat when that happened. They started to realize, oh shit, this is who we have to deal with. Edward James Olmos. This is how he's selling our show right off the top. Oh god. Oh god. What are we gonna do? I wasn't there though.
First off, Aaron, you must be like the most ridiculous person to have to work with if you're constantly making jokes like this on set. It'd be great, but I don't want to see how many of you guys have got.
I'm a ray of sunshine on set, aren't I?
Yeah, no, you should see this guy walking around set. I'm gonna do an Aaron Douglas on set right now.
You know what? The only thing you're missing is the beer.
So my actual question is, all the characters kind of go through like really deep changes throughout the series, but Hilo's always retained a very strong sense of right and wrong. Were there any events in the filming of the series that you had a difficult time filming because it wasn't something that you thought Hilo would or should do?
I'm still pissed off that he didn't put the virus in and wipe out all the Cylons.
Everyone's still mad about it, man.
That's
I get it all the time. I've had people approach me and they're literally pissed at me. They're mad at me. I'm like, you realize that would have been the end of the series. I mean, if we kill off the Cylons, what are we going to do now? Everyone's happy. It's lost. Yeah, lost. It better get it's Dallas. Douglas wakes up from a bad dream. It's happened to me.
Me coming out of the shower. Who would tune in for that?
Very bad dream.
I did a scene with Mary McDonald when we were arguing about that. This is what happens when you act with someone great like Mary McDonald. She's one of the leads. She can improvise and add some lines, and she did that. I didn't think that I could play that game too and start rewriting the scene as we were doing it. But she had, what did she have? One of the lines, she's like, I said, they tried to live with us on New Caprica. I didn't believe that. When I read that line, I'm like, Hilo wouldn't say that. He doesn't think that they tried to live with us on New Caprica. But they insisted on it. We had a new director, British director. I never saw him again after that episode.
There was a few directors that you chased away, wasn't there?
I wish I could take responsibility for that. I think Douglas scared the shit out of a couple of them. They didn't want to come back. But yeah, I wanted to change that line, and he just didn't want to change it. I'm like, could you call exactly? I wouldn't say this. This isn't. You wouldn't say this. And they're like, we have to keep this. We're going to shoot. We have to do this. So Mary loved it because it set up her whole thing, and she's like, she just kept on repeating it. She's like, come again, Captain? They tried to live with us on New Caprica. And I'm like, yes. But I didn't want to say it. I hated saying it. It was more like, yes. And then what does she do? She repeats it. What was that, Captain? I didn't hear that. Yes? Did you say yes? And it was hell. I hated that scene. It was so hard. I was psyched out for like 2 weeks after that.
Thank you guys. You're all great.
Okay, first of all, hi. I'm so sorry I don't know how to say your name correctly and I don't want to say it wrong.
Nobody does. Don't worry about it.
It's pronounced Garth.
Okay. 2 syllables. Garth. Garth.
Garth. So, since you've already confirmed that Aaron Douglas will be Alpha on
Yes.
Full House,
Yes.
that completely kills. Whoa. That completely kills my question that I was going to ask you, so I'm just going to ask you, since you're now working with Joss Whedon,
Yes.
If he ever decides to do something like Dr. Horrible again, do you think you'd be up to making an appearance?
You mean if he wants to like put me in spandex and make me sing?
Yes.
Holy shit, I'd pay for that. I will pay for that. Alex, can you help me make the costume?
It actually kind of happened last night after the club.
Oh, buddy, take it easy. You're gonna be sharing that with them? Yeah, no. He's already threatened me. I've been asked this a couple times, and everyone's like, "How do you feel about singing?" I'm like, I don't know if anybody wants to hear me sing.
Oh, we want to.
Really?
We'd want to.
Well, I think I can guarantee that Joss is going to be doing a lot more projects like that. That's the future of the business as far as he's concerned. I mean, he's kind of on the forefront of it. He financed that himself completely. Got together with a bunch of actors he's worked with, friends of his, and put together that project himself completely. And I think that's the idea. A lot of that green screen stuff, that technology is becoming more realistic and cheap to do. And Joss Whedon will be one of the guys who's really, he's going to be making a lot of the new projects with that technology, and he said that he's probably going to do it with me here in the future and make me sing and dress me in spandex.
Awesome, thank you.
Yay, I fixed the mic. Actually, I was looking at the season 4.0 special features this morning, and I saw Aaron with the t-shirt of "Buy this man a beer," and if it wasn't a dry con, you guys would have it, seriously. But my question is there was a lot of, the whole racial prejudice because Battlestar Galactica, hit on so many different subjects that are like way taboo in our society, and you know, the racial prejudice between humans and the Cylons. And Hilo was about the only character that was, you know, really kind of evolved and started to accept a lot of it. And then you start to see this whole evolution with Chief and Ty and everything once they found out they were Cylons, and they're like, oh crap, now what do we do? Do you guys have any perspective on that?
Dude, it's all you.
It's all me now, is it?
I'm trying to calm down this beautiful young lady over here, so I didn't hear a word.
Oh, Chief, thanks.
Well, I think
I feel special.
It's almost like a rhetorical question. You basically just said a bunch of great things about the show. I don't know if it really was a question. You know that we got invited to the UN, right?
Yeah.
That says a lot right there.
They got invited
Yeah, that
to
was
the
the
UN.
one time I was watching C-SPAN my entire life.
Yeah, I'm so proud of the fact. Have you seen the clip? Has anybody watched it?
Yeah.
You see classic Edward James almost in there. You gotta watch it, man. He's got like 100 students. There's 100 high school students that they invited. Very, very intelligent kids. I don't know what they're feeding them these days, but I didn't even understand half the questions these kids were asking. But Eddie's got, so say we all. He's got everybody shouting at the UN, and he was just great. Like Mary was great. Whoopi Goldberg, she was the panel host. It was amazing. Yeah.
Representative from Mexico, down the floor.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Do you have anything for me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michael.
Hogan loves these panels because he doesn't have to say stuff.
And I wanted to say, everybody, it's Ta-mo. 2 syllables. I asked him yesterday.
Garth.
See, now the mic's too short for guys like me. Anyways, you guys are awesome. I think we had everybody in this room.
Utilicats rule.
Thank you. You come down to the store sometime. We'd love to have you down there.
Don't prove to me you're Scottish.
Don't worry, I won't. But yeah, you guys are amazing. Dollhouse, I love the show. It's absolutely incredible, your characters. Thank you. Just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's getting a bit better, isn't it?
The last episode was just.
I know a lot of people think it was really kind of sucked in the beginning. You're right to, you're allowed to have that opinion. There was a lot of network meddling, I think, to be honest with you. And I think they realized how brilliant Josh is.
Tell him, you're still shooting.
That's true. The fact is, Joss has been, he's been honest about it. I think the network got a lot more confidence in Joss Whedon, just realizing that they had to let him do his thing. They had a certain vision. To be honest with you, I like some of the changes that were made. The original pilot had me meeting Eliza's character right off the bat. So it was a network no. They were like, let's have that happen later. Joss made some serious adjustments to the show that I think in some ways benefited it, but it really finds its base halfway through. Joss has said that all the way through, and I think it gets better the last half of the season. So stay with us, those of you who are questioning it. Please, keep me employed.
So my actual question, because that was just a compliment, the obligatory, beforehand. At the end of the show, they did the big auction, with all the prop stuff and stuff like that. And I was just wondering, some of us, I'm sure, have stuff. I didn't, unfortunately. But another cast got to take some stuff home. What was some of the stuff maybe you guys took home with you after the show?
I took my flight suit. A lot of us did. Yeah, a lot of the pilots did. Me, Jamie, pardon me?
No Viper in the garage?
Some dude paid $175,000 for the Viper that I wanted to put in my carport. And it wasn't me. It's a cable show, we don't make that much. I wanted to have the Viper in my carport, and every time the paperboy came by, it was sort of just a... Step away from the Viper. And just watch it run and film it and then stream it live. We're here to talk to you about Jesus. Step away from the Viper.
Thanks a lot, guys.
No, right there's fine. Yeah, right there's fine. Yeah. Put it anywhere.
The problem.
Just put it anywhere. Good. Who said that? That was awesome. Gold star, chocolate for you. There you go.
So, Michael, since you're the only person who hasn't answered the question yet, did you
go into the scene killing Ellen knowing that she was coming back in 4.5?
No, I had no idea.
And who here thinks that that was one of the most beautiful, incredible, moving pieces of Battlestar? Acting. I have said this from the start. I love Mary McDonnell. I love Eddie. It's an amazing cast. It's tremendous actors. But in my opinion, the best actor on Battlestar Galactica is Michael Hogan. The man is unbelievable. And he is the most unlike his character. Mike Hogan and Colonel Ty are antithetical to each other. Whereas I'm sort of a grump and I walk around pissed off all the time. That's the chief. And Hilo is very, I mean, Tom Pennicut is the most stand-up, he's taught me to be a better friend over the last 5 years to my friends. I mean, there is nobody that is more stand-up, great guy.
Still need a lot of work.
Yeah. I'm talking about you, jackass. So he's very much like the healer. He's very nurturing. He's very caring. He's just a tremendous person. And everybody sort of has real pieces of who they are in their characters. But Mike Hogan, it's in between takes. It's this light banter, this silliness, and then Colonel Ty comes on like a dark cloud coming over the horizon. And it's amazing to watch the transformation of him being just Mike and then becoming Saul Ty. It's a completely different thing, and it's an amazing thing.
Just to add to that, you watch actors when they get to the point when they've been doing it a long time. Obviously, only certain actors can do it. They have the talent for it or the experience, but they hit the character at all levels, and the physicality of it. Like Michael even changes his stance, the way he walks, his voice, his laugh. You gotta do it. Everything. It's amazing, right? But you gotta understand, as young actors, being on a show with people of that talent, that's a huge crash course. Like, I learned so much from these guys watching them over the years, and just to agree with Aaron, it's, you know, I mean, I've always been in awe. Watching, anytime he had a scene with anybody, always one of my favorites. The scene with, one of the most beautiful, touching scenes I've ever seen also is him and Eddie in the courtroom. Yeah. When he looks at him at the one point with the vulnerable eyes, and he looks at Eddie and basically says, you know, I was doing this for you. I was weeping when I saw that. I was a pathetic, bubbling mess. Some of the most moving work I've ever seen. Even to add about the physicality too, like after you had to kill Ellen, and I remember being in the hangar deck, we're doing the scene afterwards where he gets off the Raptor and they finally come back to Battlestar.
Oh my God! And you brought him back.
And Adama says,
not all of them.
Well, not all of them or whatever. I was standing meters away. I couldn't even see Michael's eyes, but just him stepping out of the Raptor, I could tell he was carrying the weight of what he had just done. I was crying.
Yeah,
Grace and I
absolutely.
were outside.
Absolutely.
We weren't in the shot, and we were actually crying watching it happen.
Yeah.
Getting all choked up even talking about it.
It's unbelievable.
That's some of the experiences we've had in this show. I can't even tell you, some of the most moving, beautiful work I've ever seen. So inspiring.
Tom,
young artist.
What was your Mike Hogan, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Hogan. Hey, Tomo, what was your moment of, holy crap, I better pay attention? Like, did you have that moment where you were working miniseries or season 1 or something like that, and you kind of realized, like, holy crap, these people are really good?
Yeah.
I better pay attention. Do you remember what that was?
Well, I mean,
hang on, I'm just going to get this. Go ahead and answer. I'm going to get this call.
I love it. Well, I'll give this to you guys. You know what it was? When I had my first scene with Eddie. I had my first scene with Eddie, and I totally forgot that I even had lines. I forgot that I was in the scene, and I was just watching him.
I literally got
But the thing is, he was talking to me. And I was like, line. Oh God, what are we doing again? What's happening? Same with James Olmos, man. He's always been an idol of mine. Like, I looked up to him so much as a kid, and actually sharing my first scene with him, I was scared. Shitless.
Remember, you told me about that. We went out to go train and box, and he's going, Al, so I got the scene, was the Eddie coming up. And oh goodness, that's awesome, man. He goes, I have no idea what I'm doing.
I'm scared, buddy. I'm really scared.
It's okay, let's talk this out, buddy. Let's talk it out.
My mouth guard, buddy, I don't know what I'm doing.
So you vividly remember your first scene with Eddie?
Oh yeah.
My first scene with Eddie is in the miniseries. You remember the 40-second scene?
Oh, this is a classic story.
All I needed was 40 seconds after we vent all the people. So this is my first scene with Eddie. We shoot the master, we shoot his close-up and all his coverage, and we go for lunch. And then we're going to come back from lunch and we're going to shoot my close-up. So we go for lunch, and we come back, and right away Eddie goes, don't rehearse, let's just do it, we've done it 100 times, so we do it. So they turn around and everything like that, and I say, you know, I told that son of a bitch. And Eddie goes, gets right in my face, goes, he's the XO of this ship, don't you forget that, chief. Well, Eddie went for lunch and had this burnt hair, cat crap, mackerel sandwich, garlic, didn't brush his teeth or anything, and just it was in his mustache and in his teeth. And I can't watch that scene now because he steps to me and my pores are screaming. I didn't have to shave for 2 weeks. And my face is on fire, my eyes are watering, I'm standing on, and he's like right here. And he holds it, and I'm good to know, please. And I can see pieces of like garlic and then he goes, get back to your post, chief. And I walk off. And I walk away and I turn around and I look at him and he winks at me and he goes, welcome to the show. You know what? I loved Mexico before that. Used to go every year, not anymore. He's a wonderful man, but oh my goodness, that was... Hi, the mic's a little tall for you. Tippy toes.
Better. Kind of a random question for Mr. Pennicut. I heard a rumor that you were a trained mixed martial arts fighter.
Oh yeah, he's super badass.
And
you know what? Not a trained mixed martial arts fighter. I've been doing Muay Thai for a number of years. You know, I do it to stay in shape. I spar when I can. I'm not one of those guys who gets in the ring anymore because I can't.
He's too pretty.
I'm way too pretty. Yeah, I already got a big nose. If this thing gets cracked anymore, it's going to be huge. It's going to take up the whole screen. You won't see anything but my big schnoz. Alex is the real deal. This is the guy who gets in the ring. It's been a lot of years for him. Yeah. But this is the next super heavyweight Canadian boxing champion. Alex and I both trained. We do it all. We're huge fart fans. Huge fight fans.
And fart fans.
Yes, yeah. When we fight, every once in a while we play the fart game. It's getting a little weird. I take that all back. But yeah, I've been doing Muay Thai for years. I love it. I'm a big fan of the sport. But I mean, the real guys are the guys who actually get in the ring and do it. We think Alex is going to take a fight again, right?
No, really?
Yeah, I'm going to say it officially because then it's there. He has to. Oh my God, I just said it.
You're taking a fight.
You're taking a fight. Alex is going to take
Douglas
a fight.
at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Behind the 7-Eleven. It'd be 3 hits. Yeah. He hits me, I hit the ground, the ambulance hits 90 on the way to the hospital. Hey, they want us to be done, but I'm not ready to be done. How about you guys?
I just have to say
we have to get to my pillows back there, so we got 3 more questions, real quick.
I just have to say one of the things about with Tomo's training, he trains diligently in Muay Thai, and we when we're sparring, and we do spar quite a bit, it's actually one of the coolest things because when we're both acting, it's okay, we're sparring today, but no head shots. So it's the best thing where there's no face shots and we just pound each other in the body. And he, for some reason, always wants to amp it up a little bit.
Can we just stop for a second? I want you to take a look at this fist. Even from there, I think people in the back row will be able to tell that he's got, this is a slab of flesh the size of my head.
It's the size of a small car.
I've never been hit so hard in my life than by this man.
But it's the coolest thing because we're doing these body shot workouts, and he's there right with me. He's like in the pocket. We're doing the sparring, and it's like these body shot techniques, and he won't back off. And all I'll hear is I'll hit him, and then all I'll hear him goes, and then I'll hit him again. But he doesn't move, his expression doesn't change. I just hear this beautiful little
Is that his kidney crying out for mercy?
It's like it's my organ making a sound.
But he will not move. He's in the pocket. Hat off to him.
It's like when you pick up a kitten and you squeeze it just a little too hard. I love you too. Go! Quick!
Thank you. First, thank you for filming a show in Vancouver that doesn't supposedly happen in Seattle. You're one of like 3, so. And my actual question is, was there just a favorite scene that you just loved acting in? You were like, man, that would just define me for the rest of
my favorite moment of Battlestar Galactica is working with Mary McDonnell at the end of Dirty Hands. There's that scene where it's the chief and the president are literally just sitting across from each other and they're talking about things after the refinery ship and all that stuff. I have never, ever in my life sat down with another actor and just talked and had somebody look through me, down past my soul, and just, she is the loveliest, most amazing human being, and working with her is absolutely stunning. I will carry that memory to the grave. She is, the words cannot describe sitting and looking at Mary and talking to her. She's remarkable. That's my story.
There's just so many. There's so many. I've shared some beautiful moments. You know, obviously my storyline, my biggest scenes were always with Grace Park, and I shared so many incredible moments with her.
The rape scene. No. The rape scene, memory for me with him is, it's not funny. Good Lord. Tomo and Grace are really, really great friends in life, and Grace is just a lovely person. And that scene, we would have to stand down the hall and then run in, and we would hear her screaming. And I was thinking, I'm just sort of like getting ready for it. He is physically agitated. Like, I'm amazed he didn't walk in there and punch Fulvio in the head, because he is literally, genuinely agitated and upset as she's screaming. And we shot that thing for like 6 hours. A testament to the unbelievable talent and dedication of Grace Park. But standing at the end of the hall, I was just like, I needed to back off because I was waiting for him to just start swinging. Like, I'm not doing it, I'm trying to help you help her. But, and it was like, he really fully invested in that. That's a memory that is really, really strong for me about Tomo. So he can't even talk about it. He still wants to punch Fulvio.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. That was a heavy scene, man.
Yeah. Every take, once you do it enough, you kind of go, oh, okay, well, we've done this much times, and you sort of, you kind of become, you're doing it by rote. Every single time she cried out, Tom was, somebody say action, because I'm going to go kill that guy. Yeah, you're still here.
Well, I would have to say the flashbacks when I was laughing and had 2 eyes.
You're awesome.
Okay, green girl, quick.
There's a lot of really hard scenes to watch, like being a fan of the show, because it's
Really?
so dark. Well, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, maybe. Well, so I was wondering, were there any scenes that were really hard to film, even though you guys kind of just said...
We just talked about the rape scene.
So, yeah. There we go, that's it. That's the only hard scene ever.
Where the chief, well, everything the chief did. Mostly for me was the scene where I have to euthanize Cecilus at the beginning of season 2 and put him down, because Alonso's a good friend of mine. So I'm not only, axing this character, but I'm sorry, buddy, you're not on the show anymore. And I had to pop him off, and during that hiatus, my wife passed away. So coming back for season 2, the beginning of season 2, the first 4 or 5 episodes was somebody has just died, is dying, or is about to die. So the chief is dealing with all of this, plus what's going on in my personal life. So that was tough for me. That stuff was really, really difficult. Boy, we need to take one more question, because we can't end on that. Tomo, what was hard for you?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, obviously I had so many hard scenes with Grace. You know, the thing is too, though, we got to the point where we didn't have to do a lot of work. We didn't have to do a lot of takes. Like, you know, the scene where I had to shoot her. That was a very difficult scene to shoot emotionally, but we got to the place right away. It didn't take a long time. We got there, and that's two artists who trust each other very much. And Michael Reimer, who we'd always worked with, being the key director. So scenes were difficult. Obviously, those are ugly places to go to. Yeah.
I'm Anthony.
Thank you.
He's that good.
Last one, you get it. For you.
For you, I want to know about the project Blood of Butcher's Tale.
Oh God, I have no idea what's happening with that. Shot it 3 years ago, and yeah, Alex is in that as well. And they've been in post-production forever. So, who knows? Who knows what's going on? It's called Blood of Butcher's Tale. It's a vampire film that I did. Green screen, all green screen. Literally, the stage was the size of this room, this stage. And it was just all green screen. It kind of screwed up my eyes. We'd have to go out and stare at the pavement just to get green out of our face. No idea when that's coming out. I don't know that it ever will. Yeah, but I do have a new show called The Bridge. July 9th, 10 o'clock on CBS.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you guys haven't seen the trailer yet, you should look at it. It looks amazing.
Hey, can we hear a frack from Colonel Ty?
And on that note, from here, they're going to be going over to a photo op booth, and after that, a little while later, they will be back at their booths for autographs. Thank you very much.